Hello friends, welcome to Voice Learning. Today we have one more great story, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Long ago, there was a small but beautiful cottage at the edge of a forest. In the cottage, there lived a cute little girl with her family who had wonderful golden curly hair. Her striking golden locks of hair were so unique that people around called her Goldilocks. Goldilocks' favorite pastime was to wander alone in the forest. She was very curious about all and every part of the forest and was willing to be more and more familiar with it. One morning, after having her breakfast, Goldilocks set out for the forest to explore unseen ways of the woods. Goldilocks walked deeper and deeper to discover further. She walked until she reached an attractive cottage. Wow, beautiful cottage, she sighed. But in this deep forest, who could live here? Goldilocks gently tapped at the door, but except silence, there was no one to respond her. Goldilocks was even more curious as she cautiously stepped in through the door which had opened due to her slight push. "Hello, anyone home?" she called out as she was still hesitant to move further. Yet there was no reply. "It seems there is no one at home," she murmured. As she was very curious, she entered the room. A fine, cozy interior gave Goldilocks a very soothing feel. The wood logs were brightly burning at the fireplace. Next, Goldilocks entered the kitchen. Three bowls of porridge placed on the kitchen slab amazed her further. "Someone must be living here," she muttered. She walked to the slab and touched the biggest bowl. "Ouch!" she cried. It was steaming hot. Apprehensive as she was, she cautiously touched the next one, the smaller bowl. It was very cold. Goldilocks then touched the smallest bowl. It was optimally hot. As she was feeling hungry, she tasted the porridge. It was indeed tasty. In no time, she finished the porridge from the smallest bowl. Poor Goldilocks hardly knew that she ate up the porridge of Baby Bear, and the rest of the two bowls of porridge was meant for Papa Bear and Mummy Bear. She did not even imagine that the beautiful cottage was of the bear's family. Goldilocks was tired, and after having stomach full of tasty porridge, she was feeling drowsy. "I must see the bedroom," she whispered, and walked upstairs. In the bedroom, Goldilocks came across three beds. The biggest bed was of Papa Bear, whose mattress was hard and too far from comfort. The smaller bed was of Mummy Bear, and it was too soft. Goldilocks found difficult to sleep there. So she tried the smallest bed, the Baby Bear's bed. It was perfectly warm and comfortable. Soon Goldilocks slipped into deep slumber. The bear family had not gone far away from their cottage. They had just gone for a walk. When they returned, they were puzzled to see everything in their cottage upset. "Someone has invaded our houses," growled Papa Bear angrily. The topsy-turvy conditions of the house had enraged Mummy Bear too. She entered the kitchen to find the smallest bowl empty and other two bowls which had been disturbed. Mummy Bear screamed aloud, and hearing her scream, Papa Bear and Baby Bear came running to the kitchen. Seeing his empty bowl of porridge, Baby Bear began fretting. My porridge, my porridge. The baby bear's cry was making Papa and Mummy Bears even more angry and anxious. We must find out the intruder, said Papa Bear. He rushed into the bedroom. Mummy and Baby Bear too followed him hastily. But when they entered in, they were shocked to see a cute little girl sleeping in the smallest bed. Papa Bear and Mummy Bear were finding it difficult to react with the situation, since they were no longer angry. However, Baby Bear was very much perturbed to see his bed occupied by some stranger. Who has captured my bed? He wailed aloud. Goldilocks awoke from her deep sleep to hear the cry of Baby Bear. She rose up from the bed, rubbing her eyes to encounter with the three furry bears standing in front of her. Pale of fright, she trembled and sat on the bed. Bears, she murmured. She did not know what to do. Mummy and Papa Bears were trying hard to give a gentle look. But terrified Goldilocks had only one thing in her mind, that she had to run away from there anyhow. And then suddenly she screamed with full of her might. A scream which was so loud that it shocked the bears. Taken aback, they stepped behind, thus giving her way to run out. Goldilocks darted out of the room and then from the house. Before the bears could understand anything, she was far away in the forest, heading straight towards home. She ran non-stop. On the way, her legs refused going any further. But Goldilocks did not stop. Until she reached home, she found her mother anxiously waiting outside. Where were you, my dear? Asked the worried mother. Goldilocks was so happy to see her mother and reach home that for a few moments she did not speak. She sat down, gasping for breath. Goldilocks then began the tale of her adventure. She narrated how she reached the cottage of a bear family and how she ran away from there. The mother was amazed to hear her tale, but she was not ready to believe her. Is this a new fiction? Mummy remarked. No, Mom, I have indeed seen the cottage and slept there too. The father was even more skeptical about her versions. You mischievous girl. Many a times I told you not to go alone in the forest. It seems that you were lost in the forest and now you are trying to make some excuse. No, Daddy, I am not lying. I can take you there, Goldilocks insisted. Daddy agreed and Goldilocks rushed back to the forest holding her father's hand. She was quite confident of the path which could lead them to the cottage. She walked on and on, but there was no trace of the cottage of Bear's family. Many a time she searched, but she did not come across the bears and their cottage. As she returned towards her home, she wondered where the strange cottage and the bear's family had vanished. I hope you like these stories. Please subscribe my channel and like. Take care. Bye.